Hello friends, we are going to work on stretching our hips in this video. Now there is an entire stretching series if you're interested in that. But this is really for after you've worked those hips, you strengthen those hips. We have a number of hip strengthening videos if you haven't seen them. But this is to stretch those hips out after you've done that. So you will need a chair if you want to grab a chair and then come on back and we'll get started. Okay, so we're stretching these hips. I have two hip stretches for us today. One is standing and one is seated. Now, I know, I'm going to give this little disclaimer, I know a number of people probably have had hip replacements. So if you've had a hip replacement, go back to what your physical therapist or your surgeon or your doctor has told you about what to do with your hips. So if I show you something in this video that's not appropriate for your hips, then please skip it, okay? Definitely listen to them above what I say because they know your individual situation. So the first exercise we're going to do is a standing hip stretch. Okay, we're going to imagine that we're standing on a clock face, okay? So straight ahead is 12 o'clock. To your right is 3 o'clock and to your left is 9 o'clock. And obviously to your back is 6 o'clock. So we're going to take your right hip and we're going to shift it over. We're going to start with our legs a little wider than hip width apart, okay? We're going to take our right hip and we're going to shift it over toward the 3 o'clock spot on the clock. Now you're going to find that you're going to have to bend your right knee a little bit. Yeah, it's better to bend the right knee. I was just testing that out. It's better to bend the knee a little bit. Now I know I might be opposite of you, so this may be on your left side, but you get the idea. When you stretch to the right, you're going to go to 3 o'clock, and when you stretch to the left, you're going to go to 9 o'clock. Okay, so we're stretching out through the side here. Hold it for, when we stretch, we want to hold each position for about 30 seconds. It's how long it takes for our brain to register that, okay, we're stretching, I need to release those muscles a little bit. Okay, so I'm not actually keeping track, so we're going to say that's about 30 seconds. What we're going to do is, in order to kind of shift back and stretch a little bit further back in the hip area, hip and glute area, we're going to take our hip and we're going to move it back to, to about 4 o'clock. All right, we're really shifting it back there. Now, you're going to look super silly doing this, and that's okay. So from the side, I went to about 3 o'clock, and then I shifted it back to about 4 o'clock, just really sticking my bum out there. And you may need to bend your knee a little bit more for this one, okay? That's okay. Good. I think hip stretching feels fantastic. I know a lot of people have tight hips, so it doesn't feel quite as good. But often when our hips are tight, the more we stretch, the better they're going to feel and the more they're going to loosen up, okay? Let's come out of that one, let's go to the other side. Now you can have your chair in front of you. I didn't say that, but that's always the option. You can have your chair in front of you to grab onto for stability. All right, so now I'm doing my left side. So I'm shifting my hip over to about 9 o'clock on the clock, on the clock face. Bending that left knee. Good. Kind of sticking it out there. And I've said this in a number of other videos, but I'll say it again here. No sharp pain. If you feel any sharp pain when you're stretching, come on out of it and we can find a different stretch to do, okay? We don't want any sharp pains. All right, now I'm going to take my hip and I'm going to shift it back to about 8 o'clock. This is my left hip, so obviously on the right hip you saw it's about 4 o'clock. And if that feels good, you can continue kind of moving it back around. But for now, we're just going to pause here at about the 8 o'clock. Good. All right, perfect. The next stretch I'm going to show you, you could choose one or the other of these. You wouldn't have to do both, is a seated stretch. And this is probably what you've seen more often. We're going to take, and again, listen to your doctors and your physical therapist, whoever has been working with you. If they say not to take your knee out to the side, then skip this one, okay? But otherwise, we're going to take either our ankle over our ankle. If you can get your ankle up to your knee, then we take the ankle over the knee. My foot is flexed. Okay, so my toes, if my foot were out, the toes would be straight up. My foot is flexed, and then I sit up nice and tall. Take a deep breath in, and I exhale and hinge forward. Good. Now, while I'm here, I'm imagining that there's a string pulling out through the top of my head, so I'm keeping my spine nice and long. And I'm going to move my hands out of the way. A lot of times our hands will hold us up and keep us from a really nice deep stretch. So my hands are moved out of the way. Take a nice big inhale through the nose and a nice big exhale through the mouth. Good. Now, and I say this a lot, gravity has one job and it will do its job really, really well. So let me show you this from the side. So if we can kind of get out of the way and let gravity do its job, it will help us get a deeper stretch. And we do that by lengthening out through our body, by taking nice big inhales, nice big exhales, and allowing the body to go deeper and deeper. All right. And we're going to come up out of that one and go to the other side. So again, you cross at the ankle. If you cross at the ankle, it looks just like this. Okay? Or you cross at the knee, you flex the foot, we sit up nice and tall, take a big breath in, and exhale it forward. Ooh, that feels good today. Okay, we're going to keep inhaling and exhaling. And if I have my hands on my legs, what happens is even subconsciously, I might not even be realizing I'm doing this, but I'm holding myself up with my hands. Okay, a lot of times it's because it's uncomfortable. Stretching sometimes is uncomfortable. Okay, or we're afraid we're going to go too far down. And with each exhale, we're just releasing any tension in our body, especially in that hip area. Good. And again, you hold it for about 30 seconds, and then you come out of that. Good. Oh, I hope you've enjoyed these quick little stretches. Stretching is one of my favorite things. So, again, if you would like a whole body stretch, you can check out the stretching series on our website. But other than that, I thank you for joining me, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.